Good morning. Hello. It is Linda Stacy of Living Blueprints, and today I'm going to be talking about a phrase that I learned from Brene Brown that is awesome for redirecting stinking thinking, basically. So again, Linda Stacy of Living Blueprints. I just want to remind folks, if you're watching this on YouTube, I would love it if you enjoy the content, if you liked the video and subscribed to the channel. That helps other people see it and increase and do things with the algorithm behind the scenes. So that would be awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Brene's phrase, but also about what happens with our brains and the human capacity to make connections. We're the only species that have this ability to draw meaning from things. We are meaning makers. And if we don't have all the information about something, we fill it in. We fill in the information otherwise. And I'm going to put this in the context of work, but this happens in lots of places in life. And this is an early survival mechanism. It's something that we developed in order to anticipate and predict what other people were going to do in our environment, what animals were going to do in our environment, and really helped us to kind of up-level in terms of our own evolution as a species. And then as we advance, this ability to kind of imagine and make connection is also what allows creativity and innovation and huge feats of engineering. Nothing exists before someone thought that it could exist, and then we make it happen as a human species. So it's really awesome. But how this goes wrong or how it backfires is in the workplace or in other places where we don't have all the information and we feel a little bit of threat around that. And so we fill in with information. We fill in with information that is designed to protect us, but in many ways it actually harms us because it might not actually be based in fact. So I'm going to give a few examples of how this could happen in the workplace. One example, the book, so I'm talking about Brene Brown, and then she has two books where she talks about this. One is Rising Strong, and the other one is Dare to Lead. And I'm going to list any reference in the comments, or if this is on YouTube, it would be in the description in YouTube for you. So she talks about having a big team meeting. So you can imagine being in a team meeting or working on a project. And one of her people, it was getting late in the day, and they had to redirect the agenda a little bit. So she asked one of the people, we're going to move you to tomorrow. And she had it designed in her organization that if you felt something was going weird, that you needed to say something right away. So this gentleman, feeling that this was a weird thing, he said, the story that I'm telling myself is that you moved me until tomorrow because my project is not worth it. I've spent the last 2 months on this, and I need to know that, we're actually going to take the time that we need on my topic. And she corrected that, and she acknowledged him and said, actually, I'm moving you tomorrow because I understand the importance of what you've been working on. And so we need more time. So it kind of, reframed his experience. A second one that happened to me several years ago, I was having surgery, and it was at a time when it was not good for the rest of my department. A lot of people were on vacation, and we had lost some people. It was just a series of not a good time to be out, basically. But these things get scheduled, and it's not like you have a lot of options in terms of when to actually have something like this done. And it was clear that one of my colleagues didn't understand. And the day after, when I was back and I was working from home that day, there was kind of like this left-handed comment about, I hope you had a good day off, or, something like that. And at that point, I decided, a little bit of information was okay. And I said, I had surgery yesterday. And that's all I said. And it cleared it up really quickly. But in both of these circumstances, the person is telling them a story that's and then the way that you can redirect this is just say the story that I'm telling myself is, and you can say this to yourself, or you can say it to your boss or your colleague or whoever you're having this reaction with, and then come up, either ask them what the truth is, can you help me work this out? Can you clear me up on this? Or if you're just going to do it on your own, come up with 10 alternative scenarios that could actually be happening for, in this situation. What your brain is doing is probably filling in with the worst case scenario, and then you're going to end up in a spiral thinking of all the reasons why this shouldn't be happening. I overheard a conversation recently that was similar to this. a director was giving someone some feedback. He wanted this person to demonstrate his results in the same way that his colleagues were, so that they could all look at it in the same way. And it was obvious that the direct report was taking a little bit of pause with this, was, being maybe a little bit defensive, but not overly defensive. But it really was just a matter of, we need to be able to look at these apples to apples. And so if you just adjusted the way that you presented your information, we could all see it apples to apples. Nothing to do on a personal level with this individual. Just adjust the way you're doing it. Also have to acknowledge that that person is doing something that's outside of his regular work. And there's potentially other things that that person, the direct report, could probably be acknowledged for. But again, just considering that you're not being reprimanded, you're being asked to do something in a different way, so that there's a broader acceptance and understanding of the actual work and value that you're bringing inside of your organization. So that's the phrase, is just stopping yourself when you're having an emotional reaction to something and saying, the story that I'm telling myself is, and then really questioning it, asking yourself, is this absolutely true? Do I know 100% that this is true? And if it's causing you pain or some kind of spiral, let it go, or clear it up with the person that does have the information. So I think Brene is awesome. Another person that works on this type of material is Byron Katie. And another person, Tim Ferriss, always says, assume no malice. Assume the best possible intent by anyone on the other side of any type of exchange. If they're really upset, they'll let you know, but there's no reason to try to protect yourself from something that may not even be happening out there. Anyway, again, I'm going to list all of this, all of the things that I referenced in the comments, or and also in the description in YouTube. If you are at YouTube again and any of this is useful for you, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe to the channel. And I wish you all better navigation, better work, better energy, so that at the end of the day, you can do even more awesome things with the people who are close to you. And I'll see you again on Thursday. Bye-bye.